Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast. My name is Luke Irvin, and today we've got an epic episode lined up for you. But before we jump into that, just want to let you guys know real quick, we've got some brand new merchandise up on our website, including these Thanks for Supporting Local hats and 2 new shirts as well. If you like today's episode, please also leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow our email newsletter. With nothing else to say, let's jump into today's episode.
Lee Bone, a.k.a. Jason.
Yes.
Thanks for having us in,
No
dude.
worries. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you guys coming down. We're going to try to feed you right today and let you know what the shop's about.
Dude, we already got your man Ty here. What are you making out there, Ty?
We got some tri-tips, some ribeyes. We got some potatoes, some poppers.
What'd you already bring
chicken
in?
wings.
You like wafted some sort of beef in my nose as you.
Yeah, that was the ribeyes and tri-tip and ribeye.
Yeah. Nice.
So pretty much what you're saying, you were real humble about it. You pretty much said, I'm about to take y'all head off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What y'all about
I
to
expect you guys to be wowed, yes. Yeah. That's why I brought Ty. If I was cooking, there's no wow.
Yeah.
And then Ty was pretty much saying, y'all gonna need a nap after this.
Yes. Right. I should have brought cots.
They're going to need a nap anyways, but
Right. Well, dude, this is a really, really cool spot. Like, I'm a little embarrassed that it took me so long to come over here. Jonathan's been talking, shouting from the rooftops about you for a long time, and I've heard great things around the community about you. So
thank you.
Yeah. And then I come in, and it's just meat galore, man. This is like meat lovers' heaven, dude.
Carnivore candy store.
Yeah, that's right. There it is.
Hot.
Yeah.
All of our beef is prime.
Yeah.
We've started to source a little bit of CAB lately. And It's looking really nice. It tastes really good. We do have A5 Japanese, American Wagyu. So yeah, we're starting to build and grow and do all those things you should do.
Sure. Which is kind of hard sometimes, and you inadvertently don't want to.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because success means more work sometimes.
Yes.
headaches.
Headaches, yes.
Yeah. But we keep persevering through it, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So where are we? Like, where are we at in the Phoenix area with Lee Bones?
Arrowhead area. We're right off of Union Hills and the 101. We're in the northwest corner. A lot of people know Arrowhead Grill, so that's a good sort of place. We're in the same parking lot as Arrowhead Grill.
Okay.
West Side people should come check us out.
Yeah, all side people.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Get them in the door, baby.
Yeah, that's it. Just come see us. We'll take care of you.
Well, they're starting to see, when I started the beer podcast back in 2016, actually Peoria Artisan, right up the street here, was Matt from Peoria Artisan was really the one that gave me the idea to do the beer podcast, because we were doing a music podcast and somehow connected with them because we were always drinking during the music podcast, right? He's like, dude, you should come in and do a podcast at the brewery. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Right
so,
on, man.
And at the time, no, they were in Peoria because they opened up Peoria Artisan Tap Room in Litchfield Park.
Yeah.
So.
They were the original
yeah.
TCBC spot, weren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Look at that.
Man, what is this?
We got some tri-tip, ribeye, and some wings.
Dang, those are some big ass wings, man. Well, cheers, guys, on the camera.
Look at that.
Dang, that's really fantastic. This is all meat from your spot here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pulled from the case this morning.
Prime tri-tip and prime ribeye.
All right, we got an exclusive here. Every time we do one of these, I got to drop an exclusive. And this one is it's a tough one to drop, man. I must say, man, mine don't taste like this. This tastes so good. What are you doing? There's something special going on here.
Love.
You need to define what that means because I can get real bad real quick. Well, what do you? Yeah. Well, because when I make stuff like that, I'm all about the sauce, right? Because I can't make it that good, so I need sauce. Mm-hmm. What did you do to this, Ty? Right after you
that
take
was
a
good.
bite.
That was good.
It's delicious.
Honestly, it's mostly meat duster.
Okay.
We've been doing a blend. That's actually what that best beef one
Cheers,
trophy
sir.
over there.
Okay.
We got the best beef over there. That was salt, pepper, garlic, and the Lee Bones meat duster.
So, and that's where it all started, Lee Bone, right? Was the meat duster.
Yeah.
You're eating though, so we can have Ty talk about it for now. We're all eating, I guess, so it doesn't matter.
One thing I will say, man, and when we do these, man, I always like to give people their flowers, okay?
Yeah.
So let's go into a special segment here, man. Brother Jason, I know you got the shop, and you're all about the meat, but I've experienced it for myself, man. This is more than just a butcher. This is more than just a butcher shop. It's more than just a meat shop. There's a culture here.
Yes.
There's a connection with the community. And I just want to give you your props, man, for building something out here that this wasn't here, nothing like it. You know what I mean? And also continuing to give back to the people in this area, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think for us, one of the big things is when you walk in the door of this shop, I expect that you're greeted, you're welcomed.
Yeah.
Come in, see what we got. We want you in here.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to other places where you don't get that vibe.
Sure.
It's more of a, I'm going to ask a dumb question. No, you're not. There are no dumb questions in here.
Yeah, the first time I walked in here, we were just talking about this. I walked in here right when they opened. They didn't even have the glass cases.
You were out there waiting your camping
Oh,
somewhere.
dude. I walked in, and it was him and Charlie sitting behind a table over there. And I walked in. There was no cases. There were some of these. And I asked him, hey, can you guys get me some cow balls? And I didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know him. And we're just kind of looking at him like, no.
I can't get those. I'm like, oh, okay. I bullshitted a few minutes, and then I left. And they're like, what the fuck was that? Who's this guy?
Was that real?
was that?
fake?
Yeah. Were we in punk? Yeah. So that was
But
the
you really
first
were
experience.
looking for some cow balls.
Oh, yeah. I went
what?
through 18 pounds of cow balls 2 weeks ago
Really?
at a competition, yeah.
Nice, dude.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a testicle festival.
Where are they?
Hey.
Yeah, you would expect
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So are you making balls for us today at all?
No,
Ah,
no. I
I'm
don't know.
interested in it. I am. I'm not the person.
I do a mean ball.
Yes.
A mean ball.
And they're good. They're not what you would think.
No. You would honestly think you were eating like a little
Chicken
popcorn
nugget or
chicken
something,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. I don't care. I'd eat them.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
Shockingly, I was expecting something else, but it was really good.
It's weird. Everybody's like, yeah, what the hell? Really?
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's like Scottsdale's doing the brew challenge now, where they use recycled water, reused water.
Yeah.
People are like, right? But you're eating balls.
Yeah, I know. It's just hard. That's another one of those. It's hard for me that they're using recycled water, which is what it sounds like.
Reclaimed water?
Well, reclaimed water. City of Scottsdale has this process that basically takes reclaimed water and makes it the purest form, like strips everything out of it, and it's reusable. It's reusable water, right? So breweries love it because it's stripped down to nothing, so they can add
Perfect
whatever
balance.
salts. Yeah, they can do whatever salts they need and whatever chemicals, whatever they need to match the water profile, right? But there's that stigma of you're drinking pea water, right?
Yeah.
But
I guess
It's hard to get around that.
Don't knock it until you try it.
I was about to say the one thing I had heard in the past is they can, like, the reclaim. You could drink that water. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes,
What we were told, but what they can't do is get rid of the stench. It still smells kind of like shit.
Oh, that's
So apparently they're getting rid of it in this process.
Yeah.
I would hope.
They have eliminated that in
Yeah,
this
you can
process.
take the shit out of the shit, but you can't take the shit out of the shit.
Out of the shit. Damn, man.
That's
That's
cold-blooded.
Dropping more. Oh, yeah, he's like, napkins. We need
I got shit all over my hands.
Man,
Talking
Full
about
circle.
shit, and I got it all over my hands.
Full circle. Well, so Jason, where did it all start, man? Like, are you from Arizona originally?
No.
Okay.
I was a military brat. My dad was Air Force.
Okay.
You could say I pretty much grew up in Vegas. My dad was stationed there the longest. We ended up in Arizona after I joined the military. I was stationed out at Luke for a few years. Then when I got out, we decided we wanted to come back here. And as far as the seasoning and the meat shop and all that, it's summed up in one word: accidental, I guess. The seasoning was never supposed to be a product. It was just something I was making at home. A lot of people, friends, family were like, dude, you need to try and sell that.
Yeah.
You need to try and sell that. And I just wasn't hearing it at first. Then we decided to make the leap, and yeah, one thing led to another. The pandemic hit, and I thought, wow, great time to open a butcher shop.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the pandemic for some reason,
Well-
yeah. But yeah, I mean, really and truly, it's all just kind of been an accident. I mean, none of this was a plan, if you will. We've just kind of taken the cards we've been dealt and tried to
Sure.
make the best we can out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the plan? Like, what was your what was your career before this?
Construction.
Okay.
Truck driver, nothing to do with food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, nothing to do
Sure.
with food.
But a set path, meaning like, you know, like for me, I was lost until I was 38, right? I tried everything, right? And then 38, started creating content, and I'm like, oh shit, this is it.
I'm on to something.
But it was 38 years of not knowing what I wanted to do.
I was about to say that's sort of one of my complaints is that I didn't figure this out at a younger age.
Sure. Yeah.
It took me this long to figure out that we could do this, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it was always, excuse me, like some sort of, let's start a T-shirt business. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Well, dude, he blended into the white too.
Yes.
I'm like, am I really seeing
Ladies
that?
and gentlemen, we got a special guest behind us here.
With a hammer, too.
Dang, is he see that?
He came bearing
Standing on
gifts as
something.
well. God.
So, yeah, I mean, really and truly, it was just an accident, and we've just tried to make the best out of it every step of the way. And like I said, customer service is a big thing that we really harp on in here.
Yeah.
We want people to feel welcome when they come in. You know,
Sure.
not like you're bothering someone or anything. You're definitely not bothering us.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that's such a core concept of what you're doing?
I just believe that if you treat people right, they're going to come back. You know, I think the product and the meat and the quality is here, but if you don't have good customer service to go with it, it's not going to get you far, in my opinion.
For sure.
Again, I just like people to feel like this. We're kind of cramped in here. We're not a big shop, but I do like it when people come in here and we sit around, chop it up, talk shit with each other, show me what you've been cooking, you know what I mean? And again, people come in, oh, I got a stupid question. No, you don't. What's your question? What's a buttery brisket burger? Why is that a stupid question? You don't know that we put bricks of butter in the meat and then grind it up. You know, that's a legitimate question. But you
know
can
why?
tell they're timid because they've been treated a certain way elsewhere.
Exactly. Yep. It's like first time I went to Starbucks and I was like, I don't know what I want to get, and they're just like, get out of line.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't say that. But that's how I
Yeah.
felt. You know?
You got the pumpkin spice though, right?
I did.
I know you did.
I did. I'm like, yeah, I'll just go with that. It's a safe pick.
And just to speak in regards to the customer service too, man, it's that experience too. Like
Sure.
you go to your local grocer, we'll just leave it at that, and you go back to that meat the meat spot, and you're not getting that same back and forth. It's more like, yo, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Get what you need and get moving.
right.
Yeah.
Whereas you come here, you know you're gonna get a good conversation. You're gonna learn a little bit something. You're gonna try out some
And
new
that's
cuts.
the other thing we try to do too, is just tell people, you know, what are you looking for? How many people are we feeding?
Yeah.
We can get you sort of in the right neighborhood of what you want to do, you know?
And if they're talking to Jason, he's going to tell them how to do it in an air fryer.
Yes, I am the king of air frying. Admittedly, I am the king of air fryers.
Well, from the short time that I've known you, you seem like a guy who knows what he's good at and knows what he's not good at, right? Like,
And
you
it's,
know.
it's a short list on the good at side and a very
I
long
don't
one.
know, dude. He's pretty good with dishes, too.
Yes, I am the king of washing dishes as well.
These are all valuable skills, Jason.
That just
I'll make a
that
good
shows
wife
his,
one day, you know?
that shows his personality too,
Yeah.
man. Like a lot of folks, they reach a certain level. I ain't doing dishes no more.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's where
mean?
you find him.
Yeah, I was about to say, most of the people in this shop, they
walk
don't even
in
touch
and he
the
don't see
dishes.
him, he's at the sink.
Because I'll yell at them. That's my job. I do the dishes. You got to go do something else.
Is that your peace of mind? Is that your Zen moment?
Yeah,
Yeah. Zone out.
As corny as it is, I live in the dishes.
Yeah.
He's damn good at it.
Yes.
Well, how did you accidentally? You don't accidentally just create a rub, right? Like there's some intention behind it, at least.
I mean, there really
Yeah,
wasn't. It was really and truly just something I made at the house again, and
because of a lack of something that you could find. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And for me, it was never I want to make a product and sell it. Like I said, it was more I'm going to Jonathan's for a barbecue, and when I show up with my chicken wings that I put my seasoning on, I'm going to be the shit at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Never meant for it to be, again, a product or
Sure.
anything. And then, you know, this happened, that happened. My father-in-law had come into town. Mother and father-in-law. She doesn't like grilled chicken. Who doesn't like chicken grilled? So,
Dang. My mom doesn't like barbecue.
yeah.
Just in general, I'm like, you just haven't had the right stuff, Mom.
So my mother-in-law doesn't like grilled chicken. We're talking about what are we going to do for dinner? And I said, well, I have chicken. And we can throw it on the grill, sort of begrudgingly. Yeah, that's fine. You know,
Yeah.
I seasoned it. They had a fit over it. You know,
With
what
your
is on
seasoning.
this?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
yeah.
on this? What's on this? So the next day we went to Costco, bought all the ingredients so I could make him a batch. And I made him a big old batch of seasoning. This was Christmas time. And then there was a family reunion in April. all this seasoning that I had made him before April, he was saying, I need more.
Wow. He
And
ran
I'm
through
like,
it.
how could you have ran out? You're going to die if you eat that much seasoning. And he's like, no. We've been camping and all the family wants it.
Oh, nice.
So I did a small run, went to the family reunion, sold a whole bunch to my wife's family. And then I would say even then, maybe a year and a half later, we finally pulled the trigger and said, we need to see if this is something or if it's not.
Yeah.
And overwhelmingly, we got a good response. Again, and my biggest hang-up with even doing the seasoning was always, who do you think's going to buy something from me, number one?
Yeah.
And number two, who do you think gives a shit? No one's going to give a shit about this.
Yeah.
I was wrong on both accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Pleasantly wrong
Sure.
this time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a trip. I mean, it really has. You see, anytime you come around me, there's people. Because, I like keeping our core, family, friends, people who help us, blah, blah, blah. I always want them to see all this crap as it's going on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's all just been doing events. So, you somebody like you show up, you hang out in the booth for 2 hours. You've never seen us, met us.
Yeah.
And after a while, I still think of our buddy Richard. He had a friend we were selling at Bike Week. And he sat and talked to us for like 2 hours. Ooh, poppers. He sat and talked to us for like 2 hours, right? And after a while, he got up and he looked at me and he goes, that is crazy. And I said, what is crazy? What are you talking about? And he goes, I've been sitting back there for however long and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, every person that you've shaked that shit in their hand, 95 to 99% of them reach in their pocket, pull out money and hand it to you. Wow, I said, isn't it crazy? I said, I'm blown away by it just as much as you are, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and hustling.
Yeah.
You know as well as anybody. It's all about the hustle,
Staying on
Trying to get it out there, let people know we're here. We're kind of tucked back a little bit. So, I was telling Ty last night at our event thing we did there that we still, every day, got people that walk in here. How long have you been here?
Yeah.
Over a year now. So, yeah, we're still trying to get the word out and get as many people in the door as we can.
And that's a big part of it, too, because I can tell you got an amazing team. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're a family man, and I can tell, because I've been in that position, too, where everybody and all the signs are telling me to go for it.
Yeah.
But it's me internally saying, I don't know.
That was me.
Like you said, who's going to want some shit from me or
exactly.
stuff like that? And then once you finally do step out on that, the people around you hold you up. So when you don't feel like you can go another lap, you can lean on Brother Ty. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or the wife and all that. So that's amazing. That's a big part of it, too. Speaking of the team, man, let's just give a quick shout out to everyone that's a part of the Lee Bones.
Of course, we have our house cutter, Charlie, who cuts all the fine meat that you guys buy in here. Tori, Tiff, Michaela, all work behind the counter, helping out with everything that goes on in here. Woo! That is what makes this shop go around. Not this dummy standing here talking. Those people over there make this shop go around. Yeah, I mean, again, luck is that doesn't do it justice when talking about our situation.
Yeah,
we've just been extremely fortunate, and we count our lucky stars every day. Yeah, it's been cool, amazing, overwhelming at times.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a blast. The whole thing, and that was the first rule when we started making the seasoning and doing shit. I told the whole family, as soon as this is not fun anymore,
my main rule.
That's it. I'm out.
Yep.
As soon as this isn't fun anymore, I'm out.
Yep.
And we're still selling it, so it's been a blast.
Now, there's got to be a percentage you designate that, right? Because it can't be 100% all fun, right? Because
I said it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
As close to as we can.
Yeah.
We at least hover around 90, 95%.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's mindset too, right?
Yeah.
Like it's mind. You could be like, shit, I got to do the dishes, or like, dude, I get to do the dishes. I don't have to talk to anybody up front anymore. They're pissing me off.
Exactly.
I'm going to bed. Yeah. So let me ask you this: the duster itself, what do you think set it apart? Like, what is it about and you don't have to give out, the recipe. I mean, the stuff's probably in the back, right?
It was just the base. When I finally figured out what my salt substitute was going to be, because basically the mix is the same as what I'd always tried to make, and then salt never worked. Once I figured out the missing ingredient, that was it. It was just off to the races.
So there's no salt in it?
Yeah, there's salt in it, but I don't add salt. But what I use as a base already has salt in it. And it's just Frank's Red Hot. So many people have told me I should have that. I put that shit on everything in my slogan because people are like, I put that shit on everything. I know people that put it on cottage cheese for breakfast.
It is good on everything. I have it around the shop everywhere. It goes on everything.
Yeah, and just how you laced all the proteins and stuff today, man, with it too. Like that flavor shines through, and it doesn't overpower what you're putting it on too.
And I really wish I could tell you that it was engineered that way. And I meant for it. It was just an accident and luck, you know?
It goes with everything too. I mean, really, you can use it on pretty much everything.
That's like our buddy Richard that's in The Clown. He puts it on spaghetti and lasagna, the habanero, because he likes a little spice on it. And I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm doing certain cuts, I just kind of mix it in with what I'm doing.
It's almost like a base layer, and then, some extra flavor over the top.
Like, I mean, I've been using a lot of it with the brisket and beef.
Nice, man.
And that's the other thing that's one of the best compliments we can get, I think, with our seasoning is I've had a few people that are like, you know, anything I use, I always put my twist on it, blah, blah. Not your shit. Your shit is good just the way it is, and I don't mess with it. I think that's a good compliment.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, Ty, I mean, I know it's a jalapeno popper.
Those are mushrooms.
That's a mushroom.
Mushroom popper. Okay, I'm like, that's taste.
Yep.
That's
something these guys have in their
mushroom.
case.
Yeah.
They have them in the case all the time.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Tell me about that a little bit. After you just dropped
They're
a hot
hot.
one in his mouth?
They're pretty hot, but yeah, man,
After you just burn
bite,
the shit out of yourself.
You bite into that thing. You know, the mushroom by itself has its own that flavor that you can't get from nothing else on the inside of it, and on the outside, you got the cheese, and then the bacon. Like bacon's gonna make everything taste better too. How long does that, like something like that, putting those poppers on there on the smoker?
I usually put them on the fireside just to kind of go bacon.
A little hotter?
Yeah, get the bacon a little crispier sometimes.
Nice.
But those are about an hour.
About an hour.
About an hour, yeah. So it's usually around 300 on that side.
Gotcha.
So
Nice,
you
man.
can go a little longer and get them crispier too. I mean,
Now, did these get any seasoning too, or does it?
I don't know what they put in their
They
blend.
got a little
on there,
extra
but
flavor in there.
Yeah, they
Something's
do.
going on in there.
Yeah. I want to say like, see, I used to, well, I still make them, but I call them hog balls.
Hog balls.
Stuffed
There we go.
mushrooms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just put a cream cheese sauce in with a bunch of seasoning and
Nice.
and then wrap them up.
I like how
Beautiful.
I like how he like brings us. All right, here's a wing. Here's a slice of beef. Here's a popper, and then it's like, oh yeah, please, thank you. Sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it. Black
And then
cherry.
the other thing he brings is just a big old baked potato.
That's-
I think that's stuffed. I think it's
That's
stuffed.
loaded too. We're gonna get
they
into
have
that,
these
too.
in their case too. We just kind of grab some stuff out of the case. And
Yeah,
threw it on.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've came in here to get something that I can put on the grill or the smoker, but then also, they point me to the refrigerator and they got the sides already prepped up for you, and it just makes it that much easier. I can put everything on the grill or on the smoker, bring it up to temperature, and we ready to rock.
Yeah.
Especially on a weekday, man.
And the hash brown casseroles
Yeah.
usually a big one.
Man.
Yeah, hash brown casserole. We're doing 3 to 4 different kinds of macaroni and cheese now.
Oh, nice.
And all the stuff is like he's saying is basically you go home, throw some heat to it, and you're eating.
Yeah.
Cheers, sir.
gentlemen. Cheers. We are all
We're all in together now.
and also hanging a little bit from the weekend, right? Halloween weekend's always a good time
Halloween
here.
weekend.
Yeah, I got to go marry someone when I'm done with this.
Really?
Are you an efficient?
Yes, I signed up under.
That's today.
Yeah, Bear and Deb. I got.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I got my dudism thing ordained,
Yeah.
I guess, under the dude religion. I
Hey,
don't
let's
know.
go.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Dude,
that
it's
was a thing.
Me neither. It was like, will you marry us? I don't think I can do that legally. And they were like, no, you sign up here, pay $20, and now I can marry people, I guess.
Wow. Dude, you need another side hustle, right? Another accident by Jason.
Yes, so for future reference,
Come on.
Lee Bone will be doing... No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to do any more weddings.
Y'all can get married here at the shop.
Yeah. Well, air fry some steaks for the
The
reception.
catering, all of that is right here.
Jackie, I wish we would have done things differently. I'm going to divorce my wife just so I can get remarried. No.
And I'm telling you, all the side stuff we do, like those poppers and stuff, it's all been kind of ties the reason we have the mushroom poppers. We were
Right,
doing
okay.
our jalapeno poppers, and then
Hog
he
balls.
started making those, and I was like, oh, those need to be in the shop too.
Those are award-winning hog balls.
Award-winning hog balls. All right.
And
Wait,
when
not
we-
these?
They taste good.
Yeah, and anything
Mushroom.
Spin-off of the award.
Okay,
Man.
okay.
and anything that we do with like cream cheese in here,
Yeah.
we flavor the cream cheese, not just
Ooh,
plain. We
okay.
add seasoning, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
we try to keep everything as anti-bland as possible.
I dig that.
And
I dig that.
another like dope thing, I just love you, man, because you move different. You know what I mean? You have your own seasoning. I know you got some sauces and some jars too, but when you walk into the shop, you know you can see other folks' seasonings up in here. It's
There's
not
room for everybody.
Yeah,
we
I
got
love
we
that,
got
man.
Saucy Luke in the house.
Come on.
We've got TD's Brews and Barbecue, which is somewhat local, but we got Baldwin, Loot and Booty.
that loot and booty on there. Oh, we got
Big
another
Swede.
arrival.
Ooh, jalapeno
what are
poppers.
those? Oh,
Jalapeno
okay,
poppers.
Okay.
We should have came with something.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
another
like
local
they
guy.
Just hooking us up.
Timoteo Spice. He
Yeah, what
makes
is
a-
Sonoran Spice Asiago cheese popcorn
Yeah,
seasoning?
his stuff is amazing. He makes some chips that we sell in the shop too.
Awesome, man.
That is really good.
Right here in Phoenix. Right
Yep,
here based out
and
of
we
Phoenix.
got our buddy Brian with Twisted Bee Farms. We source
saw-
his honey.
What's up,
He
buddy?
keeps us stocked all the time.
I saw him walk in, and then I'm like, I know that
he's
guy.
our buddy Brian. Come and
Beautiful.
say hi, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, this is Brian?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
Brian
this
with
the
Twisted
Brian?
Bee. Yes,
With the Twisted
It's
Bee,
the
honey?
that's him.
Oh, and look
that's
at the
the guy.
beard on him, baby.
Come
I
on,
feel,
man.
I feel like I'm at home, man. Nice to
Brian.
meet you, Jonathan.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ty.
We got one odd man out. We got one odd man out. I'm gonna let y'all see if y'all can tell who it is, because everybody got something on their face in
Don't
this
look
shit.
at
Except for this guy.
Don't look
I
at
can't see you guys all the way down there.
Hey, brother Brian, man, go ahead. Tell them a little bit about yourself and what you guys do at Twisted Bee.
We are the premier specialty honey producer in Arizona. So we make 34 specialty honeys that we produce. We have 7 local varieties that we do between 3 families of beekeepers that we work with. Just got our 14th retail location throughout the valley. Have our
Congrats.
own retail store production kitchen over at 51st and Thunderbird now.
Nice.
Get to work with all these cool guys. It's been a blast.
Collaborator on an award-winning honey beer.
Oh,
That's a fact too. Yeah. So our raspberry habanero, simply twisted beer, took a silver medal in the
that's
national honey
awesome.
beer competition.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's been fun.
beautiful,
That's
man,
awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, we got to get him in the mix on one of these episodes too. But
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. We just wanted to shine a little light on you. We
I
saw you
appreciate
come through the
guys.
door
Yeah,
with
I
the
walked
honey.
in and he's like, I thought it was over at 11:30, not like rolling at 11:30. I would have just rolled through the back. But
That's awesome.
thanks, guys. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no problem, man.
See you guys soon.
Pleasure meeting you, buddy.
Good to see you, brother.
We'll see you, buddy.
Yeah, funny little story. Brian's wife Heather was one of our first guests on this podcast
really?
on A Taste of AZ. Yeah,
Nice.
It was during the pandemic, so it was through Zoom. But they at that time, I think it was Twisted Bee Farms or something like that, because they were growing other stuff in like this trailer, like the container trailer.
Yeah.
Really cool people doing some
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. So, kind of give me a little bit. Somebody walks into this new spot, right? You know, I mean, you've got the typical butcher, you know, the meat
Yeah.
case and all that, but there's so much more to it. So, if I'm coming in, what can I expect to see, product-wise?
Pretty much all your chicken, pork, and beef. One thing I will say about our spot, it's not a in-house decision. It's not a personal thing. We don't sell a lot of boned meat here.
Okay.
Not a lot of chicken legs, bone-in thighs, even T-bone, stuff like that. They just don't move up here.
Interesting.
It's interesting, weird for us at times, but yeah.
You got some elk and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, we from time to time, that's been hard to get again here lately. Veal's really hard to get, so I hate
Okay.
telling people I don't have it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sometimes it's a matter of cost, too.
Sure.
You know, the last time I looked to get king crab legs, my price was over $50 a pound. I mean, there's no way I'm bringing that
Yeah.
into the shop, you
Yeah.
know? That doesn't make sense for any of us, in my opinion.
And that's you looking out for the
Yeah.
consumer too, right?
I
Like-
mean, because to me, I don't want someone to come in here and see. And that's the other thing, you know, we're not like scam artists. We have a percentage. We mark everything up. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
for
And
sure.
that's kind of the way it is. And sometimes
Maybe
we make a little
specialty
more
shop.
money than we do on other things, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it is. It's a specialty shop. You know, you're going to come in here and the meat is more expensive, but hopefully when you sit down and eat it, you see why you paid more.
Yeah.
The flavor, everything is there.
And it's one of those things too, right? Once you get somebody in the door, then it's like, oh shit, this is my spot.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all we're looking to do is just get more feet in the door, have more people know we're here because we know the products are there. You know.
Yeah.
That's the least of our worries.
Yeah.
That's actually the reason we opened this shop.
Yeah.
I'm not a butcher. We had to hire a professional, all that stuff. This was all just based on I can get my hands on this same stuff and sell it. If that's the case, I've got no worries.
Yeah.
Because the product is good.
Sure. Yep.
And I don't have much to do with that end of it, obviously. I just sell it to you once it comes to us, but it's great.
No, I like it. And I like every time I come in, do you purposely put beef right up front? Is there like a rhyme for reason on the cases?
We went round and round over it before we opened the doors, whether we were going to start. So when you came in the door, you would see chicken that's not as expensive, if you will, as some of the beef. But then I think the decision was, no, let's just show them what we're doing right out of the gate and just hit you with the heavy hitters right out of the gate, you know?
Yeah, I come in, I see the big old tomahawks. There's some brisket in there too, man. And then just down the line, you got all the fixings too. And I think, so I remember the first time I came in, I was just like overwhelmed. I was like, bro, how'd they get this many different cuts in one, small location? And then you came around the corner and told me about, to this day, it's still a secret because I don't want too many people to know about it. But you told me about one of your favorite cuts.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, woo.
And we didn't even cook one today, and we should have. I apologize. The hanger steak.
Yeah, and you told me how to cook it because I was like, bro, I never cooked one of these.
I like fire up that air fryer. I told him he's gonna start selling air fryers in here.
So dope, man.
Yeah, I love a hanger steak, and I usually tell customers that come in here that don't go on YouTube and try to cook this because, in my opinion, they have you ruin it. They have you cut it. Yeah. Cook the whole piece and then just cut it in slices like fajitas or whatever.
Is that a breakfast? Is that a breakfast? Is kind of the same as no?
That's a dinner cut.
Honestly, like that's the perfect picker food.
Yeah.
Like you do that whole thing, cut it up, and everybody can pick at it.
Okay.
And that's awesome.
And the flavor in it is just amazing.
Yeah, and it is ugly. I mean, it is ugly. That's why they call it that. But when it's cooked, it is awesome.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've heard people say the secret cut, the butcher's cut, but sort of, kind of, that's what you can say it is. It's the hanger steak because you only get one per animal. And I had a customer who comes in here and she buys 2 full heads of cow out of Oregon every year. She came in here, started eating our hanger steaks, and she asked me, what is a hanger steak? I order cows every year, and I've never had that. I said, you've never had that because your processor is keeping it and feeding it to his family. And she was like, really? So she came in a few months later and said, I ordered my 2 cows again this year. And I was like, oh, cool, And she goes, yes. And I asked for my hanging tenders as well. I said, really? And she goes, yeah. I said, what did he say to you? Who told you that? She said, I know people. He's like, all right, you'll get them.
The secret.
So she's been ordering cows for 10, 15 years, I forget. And this year will be the first she's had her hanging tenders because she didn't know it existed.
So either people keep it or do they not
It's usually the
understand the
processor. It's usually the processor that keeps it.
Because
the person who's cutting
it doesn't look like a great cut.
No,
I mean, honestly, it's
meaning
not
a lot of people could probably throw it away. Like it probably just gets
It's got a
No,
lot of
I don't
fat
think
in
anybody
it.
tosses it.
Nobody tosses it, but the
No.
butcher gets it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Gets put in his file.
Now I know what to ask for when I come into places.
Yeah, I mean, they are delicious. And where they set in the animal, they just help lift the diaphragm up. So it's sort of a secondary muscle, like your filet, very tender. But it also has a liver vein that passes by it. So it takes on a little bit of an organ flavor. And I hesitate to say that because it's not up front. You don't really, taste it.
I don't ever really... I just think it's a really good tender cut.
Yeah.
And the fat in it's perfect.
Fatty. Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's the kind of fat that you can eat. It's not like the nasty.
Bristly and-
Yeah. It's like melt in your mouth kind of.
Like all of the stuff. I mean, I can't stop, man. I'm gonna be paying for this, right? Because usually I fast. I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat till later in the day, like noon. But it's usually something a little softer, maybe a banana. Hell no, man. Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
chicken wings.
These ain't bananas.
Jackie, you're gonna have to take the girls trick or treating tonight. I'm out. But what's really cool is when you come into the place, you see all of the stuff in the cooler. So it's, and the stuff in that cooler and the seasonings and pickles and everything. So it's like a one-stop shop, right? You come in, you're like, hey, I want to do a badass barbecue tonight. I'm not quite at the skill of Ty and Jonathan.
We can get you. We can help you get it taken care of, and we can pretty much have. You can pretty well get a start to finish meal in here, and we even have desserts.
And when you walk in, the cases look pretty badass.
Oh, goddamn right they do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no bones.
It never gets old walking past a meat case.
We've had probably about 10 or 15 customers come in here and ask us if we own a tattoo shop or if this is a tattoo shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the look. How we designed and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Nah, I dig it. That sets it apart, though,
yeah,
right? It's
definitely us.
Yeah.
I don't think you can walk in here and say we've stolen any designer ideas from anyone. I think it's all us. Very slapdash, if you will.
I love it too because there's beauty in like doing stuff your way, and not really having to change how you deliver something or put your spin on it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people out there that just from seeing the sign, right, or the logo, they're like, yo, that's my spot.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot
else.
too. There's been quite a few people that have told me they bought the seasoning just based on the bottle.
Yeah. Just
the
art.
Just the art. Yeah, just the artwork. And then once they open it, they were like, okay, I get it. It's not just artwork. It's good seasoning too. But it's funny. It's gotten quite a few just on the picture.
Dude, marketing gets me all the time. Used to like with beer cans, like, dude, I'll buy. I'm like, dude, that looks badass.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I drink. I'm like, that was horrible. Cool can though.
Like, man.
I was just at Disneyland and they do some messed up shit with their marketing there.
Oh, really? Like what?
Man, it's just all the stuff that they sell, man. And then they said that they pump the smells into the air system too. Like when you go in there, like the popcorn smell.
Sure.
So you get that, and then you're like, I gotta go get a bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
shit
place
like
on
that.
earth, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
$20
I must say
bag.
I'm guilty of that from time to time too.
Of wafting flavor smells in here.
He puts the air fryer under the central air system.
Throw some bacon in the air fryer and get it whipping through the building. Yeah.
Dude. Really? On the air fryer?
Oh, yeah.
He really does love that air fryer.
Dude, it ain't no joke.
Yeah,
it ain't no joke.
No, it's a serious problem.
Yeah, you walk in here anytime around lunch, it's fired up.
Something's frying up, huh? Hey, I'm with you though, man. I love the air fryer. Like
somebody brings something fresh in, it's going in the air fryer.
I was about to say, and me, I'm really weird with the air fryer. I don't cook French fries. I don't cook fried chicken. Anything that needs grease and fat, I'll use grease and fat.
Gotcha.
But he'll throw a prime cut in there like it ain't nothing. Going in the air fryer.
That's right. Jeez. Every time.
I'm in, man. I'm not hating on that.
It turns out good.
Yeah, I was about to say those hanger steaks. My air fryer has a probe. It's a fancier,
high class.
He up now. He name brand now.
Put the probe in it. The dumb thing will tell you when to flip it, and even when you pull it and you put the probe, it goes into a rest mode. And it lets you know, hey, you don't cut it.
He should be selling them in here because I've heard him give the customers this one.
Yes,
people are trying to walk out.
You're not selling the air fryer here,
Ninja
Jason.
Food, whatever. Call your boy. I'm doing things with your stuff.
You're going to see all the air fryers lined up out here.
That's where I put them, too. I've probably sold 10 or 15 customers coming back saying they bought one based on me showing them what I'm doing.
He gets enthusiastic about it.
I dig it, man.
Yeah, I think it might be time, man.
No, that's interesting because there's a show. I don't know if you've seen the show on Netflix or maybe Hulu with David Chang. It's called it's something about like the future of food, right? And he's who David Chang is.
World renowned, he's the dude.
Yeah. I mean,
full disclosure, I don't watch people cook on television. I know no one but Ty.
Well, I've actually never seen him cook either. He's more like, I guess, he's a chef, but he's a host. He's a really charismatic host. Anyways, he's the host of this show, and the first episode is like, how is technology going to kill food, right? And they go into this place, or like kill the personal aspect of food, right? Everything can be automated. So he goes into this place that creates these machines that top sirloins. That is. I thought he was giving it a shout out on that.
The good stuff.
So this machine, they're going in the high-end steakhouses where it lasers basically see what's the temperature all the way through, so they can just throw it in there, perfectly cooked every single time.
Or you just put a fat guy in the kitchen like me and it'll be perfect every time.
Right?
I ain't gonna ruin a steak.
I'd be at risk of eating it, but not ruining it. Yeah. But no, man, this is Jason. This is a great spot. Ty, thanks for throwing some food together, man.
Man, you went above and beyond.
Yeah,
you
dude.
didn't have to do all that.
But I'm glad you did. But I'm glad you did.
We always try to roll out the red carpet.
Yeah.
That's right. We got some to-go plates, man.
Yes. We'll have some to-go
Nah,
boxes
that's
for
good.
everybody.
We about
Nothing
to
gonna
clear
be
this
left
out.
over,
We
man.
about to clear
Not after
this
I hit
out.
stop on
We
that
just
thing.
we didn't want to hound
I
on
was
the.
going to say, we should go back there and start eating while it's still
I put
hot.
potatoes back there.
Yeah.
I got a couple more in there too.
Did you want anybody else to jump on real quick? Did you want to get
Yeah,
your
you
butcher
guys
on?
can say what's up to Charlie real quick
Yeah.
because he's our butcher. He can be a little more technical than I.
Heck yeah.
Come on, Charlie.
All right, so let's get this adjusted up for him.
Oh, Charlie's a tall guy, huh? I'm get a little bit closer there.
So like, dun 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 dun. That's his
He
intro
should be-
music.
He should be carrying the biggest meat cleaver.
Standing at
he's got.
6'6", the man, the myth, the legend, the secret weapon. He knows it all, man. When it comes to, I'm not even gonna just say meat. He knows a lot about meat. He knows a lot about a lot of things.
Was that you, Charlie? Is
Brother
that true?
Charlie,
Yeah, more or less.
welcome to the
Sit
Fat
here and
Dudes
say I know
Fat Foods.
everything,
So did Jason tell you who's going to throw you on the mic? You were
No.
preparing? No? Shit.
Are you
but-
mentally
No,
prepared?
I knew I was going to be on a little bit. I didn't know when I was coming up, though.
Yeah. Well, dude, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah.
Are you from Arizona here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Lived here most of my life.
Cutting meat the whole time?
I started about 10 years ago next month. So
Oh, really?
Coming
Nice,
up on my decade of, well, not cutting meat, but being in the industry.
Okay.
I've been cutting for probably about eight and a half or so.
Okay. Nice. How do you go down a path of?
So my story's kind of funny. I lived with my grandparents at the time, and I was just trying to find a job, get life figured out. And the only thing around was a Fry's, and
Okay.
it was walking distance. I didn't have my license or anything. So I started there, and I just closing at night, not really knowing what I was doing, just wide eyes, all this new industry, new world, didn't know what was going on, and then slowly figured it out and got better, and then moved up, and then eventually became an apprentice under an amazing meat cutter.
Yeah.
And then did that for a long time. Then I left Fry's for a little bit, got into the beer industry for a couple of years.
Oh, nice.
Then
Yeah.
left that, and then came back to the meat world, and then got an opportunity to be in an actual butcher shop instead of being just in the grocery store.
Trying to mess with you, man. You're very composed, man. I dig it. What was it about? Like, so when you were at Fry's, that's when you kind of started delving into.
That's how I learned, yeah.
Yeah. What was it about it you think that just kind of drew you in?
Fast paced, interesting, totally different world from anything I've ever been involved with.
Yeah.
Because walking in and seeing how everything was made or what pieces of meat came from and how we got there, what the starting point was and what the end result was just mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
So I was a rapper for a long time, and so I just always bugged the butcher and the meat cutters and ask them, how do you make this? What's this come from? And
Yeah.
some of them would get annoyed and be like, I don't want to talk to you. You won't be here in a month, type of a deal. But
yeah.
eventually I stuck with it, and it's turned into a pretty amazing career for me.
When he said rapper, did you think the same thing I did?
I was like,
I was like, dude, that's awesome.
we got a mic too.
Heck yeah.
It's recording. It's already going.
So in the world, you can't have, the meat cutter can't do everything, right? So
Sure,
they're
okay.
going to be on the block a lot, especially in more production based, which is what a Fry's is, or a grocery store is more production. They're just on the table all day, blasting out as much meat as they can. They throw it on their trays, and then they throw it on a rack.
Yeah.
And then a wrapper is someone who either hand wraps it all or throws it through an auto wrapper and gets everything wrapped and priced
gotcha,
and
okay.
cleaned
Yeah.
and make sure it looks good. We had some rapper. We had this one lady. Her name was Kathy. Shout out to Kathy.
Kathy!
Kathy's
She's
a
this
rapper.
little old lady had been doing it for like 30 years. And so if the meat cutter would put something on and a piece of meat was at the wrong angle, she'd take it and throw it back on his table and yell at him and tell him to get better at his job and all that kind
Dang.
of stuff. So
Accountability.
she,
That is
she
fine.
took me under her wing when I first started and taught me all sorts about how to make stuff look pretty, how to condition, how to make your case look like you could roll a quarter down it.
Ooh.
And then
You can tell by his case.
Oh,
too.
dude, it's beautiful. Yeah. So that's not just all just a matter of luck. You throw it in there and it
no,
lines up.
this is a matter of me being very anal about how I want things.
in the
and
details.
It's being able to teach everyone
It's pretty
here
awesome watching him cut
how
a big
I
one.
how I want it. Anymore, I mean, I don't have to cut as fast as I used to. Before, I'd be on the table 8 hours a day pumping out $20,000 worth of meat. But now anymore, I can take my time, make everything look
Like
as
art.
precise as I can, and really
Yeah.
express myself. Because in the grocery store, you don't have say over what your case looks like. You don't have say over anything.
Yeah.
So this was a great opportunity because when I walked in, these are empty. everything was empty.
Okay.
This was empty, and it was basically Charlie figure it out.
Some weirdo asking for cow balls.
Such a blank canvas. Blank canvas.
So when we first got this going, I just sat here on the floor on a chair and just looked at the freezers with a little piece of paper and drew out how I was going to have it imagined and how I was going to set it up, and that was a process. And it's obviously changed over the past couple of years as we figured out what customers want and their needs, but it's a little overwhelming because you're used to, okay, someone else has done this for you, or some corporation has told you how your case needs to look or how your freezers need to look. So to be able to sit there and be like, okay, how do I want it to look? How do our customers want it to look?
Yeah.
And then with our cases in the grocery world, it's all predetermined. There's schematics that you get. That's a piece of paper that tells you your chicken needs to be in a tray. It needs to have this many pieces of chicken in it. It needs to look like this at all times, type of a thing. Where this, it was like, how do I want this to look every day? What's going to make sense with this case? And like Jason had said earlier, we threw around a bunch of ideas, bounced around a bunch of thoughts, and it was a lot of just sitting here. And then our cases finally showed up after we waited about a month. We sold all of our meat out of a small little refrigerated case about half the size we have over there. Wow. And so we got through that. Then the cases finally show up, and our trays don't fit in the cases. So now nothing makes sense, and everything we had planned for didn't work. And then we had to panic and scramble, and we figured it out. And now we have a pretty smooth operation to where it almost kind of runs itself. Everyone knows what they need to do at all times. So
Yeah.
Good, man. And it's pretty cool too how like just spending a little space and time with you, I can start to understand there's more to it than just, cutting the meat and getting it in the display. It's like creativity.
Well, in my world, there's always been a big disclaimer, because I don't call myself a butcher. I've never butchered a cow. I've never done anything like that. I'm a meat cutter. I've always been a meat cutter.
Yeah.
And there's always been this big, like a sibling warfare between butchers and meat cutters, because butchers think they're better, meat cutters think they're better. What I do is the butcher's already broken it down. The processors process the meat and given us the parts, but now we have to make that into something someone's going to walk in and want to buy.
Pretty stuff.
There's
Gotcha.
places that still do it like that, but it's few and far between anymore. So now what we have is we have the opportunity to take something and then make it look as gorgeous and package it and label it or display it to look as desirable as possible.
There's an art form to it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, right, where you, as a consumer, unless it's pointed out to you, you don't really, notice it.
Yeah.
But it means so much to you,
Yeah,
right?
well,
when you walk in here, like you're not like, wow, man, he really lined those steaks up good. It just goes on. It just flows so well. What you do?
I said, I can't walk past it without.
Like I was saying, there's in the grocery world, there's no self-expression. There's some stores that they're like, oh, you can go above and beyond, but it needs to be this way. Where like here in another month or so, this is going to turn into a Thanksgiving set, and I'm going to get to express it in a different way than I've gotten to all summer. And then Christmas will come around, and this will turn into an entirely different set. And then when we have our big weekends and holidays and events or whatever, then I get to go even crazier and try to pack as much stuff into this case as I can. And our main case setter, Tori, who's the one who I usually am jerking around all morning, because she's the one who she usually throws everything in there, and then I come up and tell her it's all wrong and it all needs to be changed. And then she looks like she's going to cry some days, because every time she gets it all figured out, I come up to her and I'm like, okay, now that you have it set, I need to fit this, and this in, and you have this much room to make it work. So let's get it going. So it's a process, but we got it down pretty well now.
Shout out to the team for all working together, right? Yeah.
Getting it
And
done.
then obviously the rest of our staff keeping it up all day after we get it set, because we can set it up and make it as gorgeous as we can in the morning, and then if we get busy and then everyone else doesn't pull their part and it falls apart, then what was the point of us busting ass to get it to look like it does? So we're all a pretty cohesive unit now.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm just blown away by this place, man. They're closed today. They closed. Well, I didn't say they closed for us. We came because they were closed. Worked out pretty well. Still people coming in the door.
Yep.
You know,
Every time I've done this here,
Yeah.
it's been Mondays when it's closed, and every time people come and they still serve them. They still sell.
Just happily talking to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was
Every
one
time.
day we were waiting on a piece of equipment to drop, and it didn't end up dropping the day it was supposed to. It was supposed to drop on a Monday, and Jason and his family had been out of town, so we came up here to just sit around and wait for it to drop, and we probably had like 10 to 15 people just walk in, and the lights were off and everything. There was nothing in the cases, just the bare minimum, and we were like, well, might as well try to help them out if we're up here.
Heck yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always been that way. Nobody ever leaves empty-handed
Nope.
when they're closed.
We'll
I'm
never
fighting-
turn someone away.
Yeah, I was cleaning floors here one day, and someone walked in, and he sold them. So
Yeah.
he's always here taking care of them.
Heck yeah, I love it, man, and that's what continues to build a neighborhood, or this community on this side. Is that that's always one of my biggest things with I'm all about local, all about craft, but then I talked to someone like, yeah, I went there and it just wasn't that great. Inconsistency, right? Inconsistency. That's why people tend to go to a place that's boring, but you know what to expect. But then when you have this, you have something that's well intentioned, and the work ethic behind it, and the team behind it. There's no reason to go anywhere else.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
we work as hard as we can to be as consistent as possible. I mean, there's some times where we can't have the same set as we had last week or 2 weeks ago, but if someone wants something and we're able to do it, we'll do it for them.
Yeah, very easily. Not that it would be the right thing. People come in, no, we're closed today. Sorry, we're closed.
Yeah, you see people do that all the time.
All the time.
They
Get
just
turned
don't
away.
even-
Yeah.
Never will you see that.
Yeah, love it, man.
But
Love it.
you can tell it's in the fabric of the shop too.
For
like,
sure. Yep.
Do the work. If it's extra, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think when people come together in that regard, man, a lot more good comes out of those things.
Absolutely.
And it's not even about work at that point. You know what I mean? There's life lessons. Somebody might walk in here, man. They might outside of their life and everything, shit's going haywire.
Yeah.
They walk into here. Jason smiling at them, you know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Charlie coaching them up about the meat and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it could change someone's situation with just that little bit of an interaction.
Sure.
That's when I say it's more than just meat, or it's more than a butcher shop.
Yeah.
They really are like pouring into the community.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we appreciate everything y'all do, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's the thing that we were talking about earlier, where it's shit. I lost it. There was a little bit left, and it was just gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. We were talking about it being fun, right?
Yeah.
Talking about it being fun, and you guys saying that 95 to 99% of the time it's fun, and you kind of think about that, and you're like, but then it's like, you work with the right people, it is, right? You could be dealing with a shitstorm, and if it's the right people.
I have a rule. It's a big rule, and they know it. If it ain't fun, I'm not doing
That's
it.
right, yeah.
And I literally tell people, like, if it ain't fun, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anytime these guys call, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's my rule with the barbecue. If it ain't fun, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
If
I
it
tell
ain't
people,
fun, I'm done.
Dude, I tell people for weddings, for anything, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, barbecue thing's my fun thing. So
Sure.
if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And with these guys, every time we do stuff, we just have a blast.
Yeah.
But it's always that way. So these guys, anytime you ask me if I want to do something, yep.
Yep. Didn't
I'm
even
in.
finish the sentence. Yep.
I'm in.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Ty, thanks for the food, man.
Right on, man.
Jonathan, as always, thanks for joining me on these Fat Dudes Fat Food adventures.
I just get to show up and eat and drink for free. I didn't even really do nothing today.
Happy Halloween to everybody out there. It's Halloween as we're recording. When you listen to this, it won't be Halloween, so hopefully you made it through. But Lee Bones, what's the full name of the place? Lee Bones.
Lee Bones Fine Meats.
Lee Bones Fine Meats at Union Hills and
83rd and Union Hills.
83rd and
101
Union Hills.
and Union Hills.
Okay.
Right there.
The northwest turn of the 101.
Yep.
Come up here, grab some meats, go to Pure Artisan, grab some beers. Cactus Tap
Dude,
Room, I think, is
come on,
close,
man.
That's
right?
not far, yep.
Richter Ale Works is close up here, so some good stuff up
Yeah,
here.
man. And how can people get in touch with
Yeah.
you?
Instagram only.
On the gram only.
Exclusive.
Said you
That's
got
right.
DM me.
That's it.
What is it?
Fat Ox BBQ.
Fat Ox BBQ. Fat Ox BBQ. Heck
There
yeah.
it is, man.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Once again, thank you.
Thank you.
We need to finish up those baked potatoes, right?
Yeah, we about to eat, dude. We're about to ham.